Well, I think I've pretty much covered just about everything, but there's always things that I leave out. And since the guest rules the day here, and I always try to be as accommodating as I can, have I left anything out that you want to talk about? Is there something I missed?
No, you had some really good points and questions. It was nice to be able to answer them at the moment like we are. So I appreciate you for that. There's a couple things we can just share real quick that people can, whoever's listening will enjoy. So, all right, if anyone's listening, grab a pen, blue pen, white paper. Has to be a blue pen, has to be white paper. Don't ask why. Just do it. It's an energy thing. There's your answer. And you're going to like this. Let's talk about the 4 steps to process information. These are really good. So these are the 4 steps to process information. Number 1 is unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence. That's when you don't know what you don't know. Okay? Number 2 is conscious incompetence. That's when you know that you don't know. Then, after that, we have conscious competence. That is when you know what you know. And then number 4, this is the ultimate goal, this is unconscious competence. That is when you know and it happens automatically or you're on autopilot. And the reason I mentioned these 4 steps was you had mentioned at the beginning of this call the ultimate goal is to be on autopilot with, energy, frequency, spirituality, or with who you really are. And these are the 4 steps to get someone to that point for themselves. So we'll go over them again real quick. Number 1 is unconscious incompetence. That's when you don't know what you don't know. After that, it becomes conscious incompetence. That's when you know that you don't know. Then moving on along the scale, conscious competence, that's when you know what you know. And then once you know what you know, then that will become unconscious competence, like tying your shoe. You just do it. What's your name? You know it. There's no thinking. It's a part of you. Unconscious competence, when you know, and it happens automatically, and then you're on autopilot. That's when you pull the strings, when you call the shots. That's when your life becomes your life, and you become who you really are. And you do what works for you because you're always focused on working on your feelings. And when you're feeling good, you're dialed in. And when you're dialed in, people, situations, events, and circumstances present themselves. You're aware enough to see it. You take control. You apply. And bam, your life is your life. And that's really, really magical stuff right there. And whoever's listening, rewind and listen to it 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, 500,000 times until it becomes a part of you. Because when it becomes a part of you, you will become the best possible you. And that is awesome. That is so good to go to sleep and to wake up and to know every day that you are you and you are great. It's just a kick-ass way to live.
All right, Paul, I have to ask, because I'm just a pain in the ass this way. Why a blue pen?
It's an energy thing.
Oh, okay. I'm not being facetious. I want to know. As opposed, there's a million.
The ultimate concrete reason, I have no clue. I have no idea. All I know, it's an energy thing, and when you write it down with blue ink, something happens that makes it manifest infinitely faster than any other color.
I think
I don't know what I don't know.
No, I think I probably know why, because in spiritual circles, blue is the color most linked to the qualities of ascension, illumination, all-knowing, spiritual advancement, and that's probably why. That's probably why it's blue.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that.
Even if it's not true, it sounds good. So let's go with it. But that's what I've read.
Sounds
all
good
of
to
the
me.
Colors, all of the colors do have meaning, other than them just being colors. And it was something that I was looking at because I had a very interesting experience where someone did a drawing for me while something was going on, and it was all done in royal blue. So I wanted to know why royal blue. And when I looked it up, those were some of the meanings that I found behind it. And Sean is adding healing and truth. And there you go. You're all about bringing the truth and healing to people. So that's why it's blue.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, she's very handy to have around. This is the lady with the bat phone to spirit. Very handy person to have around.
Awesome.
So we love having her here week after week. But that was fantastic. Do you have anything else you'd like to share? I love this. I love this free flow of information, especially when it's for good stuff like this.
Let's see. We can share this with everyone listening. It's called the Success Momentum Cycle. The Success Momentum Cycle. And with this example, the word success doesn't mean money or wealth. Being wealthy means you have money. Being successful means what you do provides you a feeling of feeling good. So success is, in this example, is going to mean feeling good. But this is and I apply this to everything I do, everyone I associate with, every project that I engage in. And if I can't complete these 4 steps, I don't do it. And it could be the best idea in the world. It could be extremely lucrative. If I can't complete these 4 steps, it's an automatic no questions about it, on to the next. So that's how much attention I give what I'm going to share with you guys right now. But this is the Success Momentum Cycle. And number 1 is success builds confidence. Success builds confidence. Number 2, confidence creates activity. Confidence creates activity. Number 3, activity creates results. Activity creates results. And number 4, results create success. Results create success. So now, these 4 things, if there's a project or an idea or something anyone's working on, a relationship, co-work, whatever it is, you can apply this in infinite amount of ways to anything. But if you can complete that cycle with what you're doing, it's the success momentum cycle. So once you complete it, you're throwing it out there, and it's going to come back to you automatically. It's the success momentum cycle. So once you complete it, you don't have to think about the how ever again because you completed the momentum. Do you see that? The how will never take any root because you completed this cycle. So no matter what you do, it's going to come back to you automatically, and it's going to continue to come back to you infinitely, ongoing, permanently. Very magical, powerful stuff. When you apply the success momentum cycle with really understanding the 4 steps to process information, you become your own wizard. Great stuff. So much.
Yeah, fantastic.
So much great stuff.
Especially if you get the tall, pointy hat with the stars and the moons all over it. If I'm going to be a wizard, I got to have one of those hats. Love those hats. Those are great hats.
I had one of those hats for years. I loved that, my wizard hat.
Those are cool.
I think I lost it in Salem one year during Halloween.
Well, you lost it in the right place.
Yeah, I used to really enjoy Halloween in Salem. I used to get dressed up and I was like I was Mickey Mouse for the night. I'd have a line of 100 people wanting to take my picture because of my outfit, and it was always a good experience.
It is. It's like I said. It's just such a great place. I mean, I was always so.
But they changed it now. Years ago in Salem, there'd be 100,000 people. You would do what you wanted to do until midnight, 1 o'clock. Then you would go to the bar and finish off the night till 1:30. Now they roll in with the police, the artillery, the buses, the motorcycles, the ATVs, the military equipment, the dogs, and they kick you out. They shut the whole town down at 10. So the experience is definitely not like it was 10 years ago. Now it's, it's just not the same. We'll put it that way.
Well, unfortunately, Paul, that is, we said we weren't going to get into this. I'm just going to touch on it. That's the way it's becoming all over the place. We have this, this police state going on, and all they want to do is continue to shut people down. And what's funnier is, though, the harder, and this falls right into what we've been talking about, is that the harder they squeeze, the harder they try to physically squeeze the people, the more they push them towards the spiritual. And the more they push people towards finding their own power. So it's kind of like the old 38 Special song. Hold on loosely, but don't let go. If you squeeze too tightly, you're going to lose control. And their need to exercise all of this control over people, this constant physical pressure that they apply with this police state, is just driving people faster and faster to their own awakening. At least that's how I feel, and that's how I'm seeing it. Now, I could be wrong. I hope I'm not, because if I'm wrong, then there really isn't a lot of hope.
No, I wouldn't say you're wrong. Well, you can never get it wrong because you never get it done, so you're always getting it right.
Well, that's interesting you say that. That's and again, I have to give you a lot of credit, because that is something that was taught to me a while ago, and it was in terms of trying to achieve the conscious OBEs, is that people tend to look at every time they don't have an experience as a failure. However, if they turn around and they look at it a little bit differently, which is everything that you think is a failure is just a smaller success. Okay, you didn't get the gold ring, but after 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 of these smaller successes, you will get the gold ring because you're building towards it. But if you tend to look at them as a failure, then you're just setting yourself back. Whereas if you just change your thinking and your perspective to thinking, okay, well, I got a little bit further here, I got some further there, and take them as steps and building blocks, that when you finally hit the end game, whatever that is, whether it's an OBE or a business or something, whatever it is, when you finally hit that end game, you'll actually turn around and look at it and say, all right, those weren't failures. They were just smaller successes, and they were all instrumental in getting me to right where I am right now.
Right, yeah. It's always all good, always. And then any situation is a positive one, because you as us as the individual, we're in complete control on how we want to harness that energy from that feeling that we received, from what we thought we did or didn't do. So everything is, if someone tries astral projecting 1,000 times and they don't do it, oh my God, I am so thankful. It's coming. 1,000 times. It's within my reach. I'm so excited, because anticipation and enthusiasm eliminates resistance.
Yes.
When you think of the how or become annoyed, that creates resistance. So you're never going to get where you want to be if you're creating self-resistance.
Exactly right. And
you can't do it. It's just not how it works.
Right. And it's a vibratory thing, too. As long as you're if you're angry that you're not getting the results that you seek, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you're angry. So you bring your vibration level down, so you fail more, so you get angrier. So you bring your vibration level down further, and before you know it, you quit.
Yeah. Or instead, you just be thankful, have anticipation, have knowingness. That eliminates the doubt, that takes away the resistance, care but not that much. Yeah, when I line up, I'll line up. Who knows when that'll be. Laugh, work on feeling better, go to bed, bam. You'll be surprised where your ass goes.
Yep. Laugh is important. You actually have to have the laughter part, because humor, even if it's dark humor, any kind of humor that you have towards something is always a vibration lifter. Anytime that you can laugh, even if it's at yourself, and that's the other thing. If people could learn to laugh at themselves and stop taking themselves so seriously, they'd be a lot better off too. Because
but
people take themselves way too seriously.
What is there to take seriously? Let's break it all down. Okay. So you don't want your neighbors to look at you dressed in your nightgown getting your mail. Okay, why? I don't like how it'll make me feel. Okay, well, why do you feel bad? You're alive. Like, I bottom line things real quickly. Like, my wife, she's getting there, but she thinks I'm nuts. I'll go outside in my underwear, check the mail, wave to the neighbors. I don't care. You don't want to look at me, don't look at me. You don't like the question, the response from the question? Don't ask me another question. It doesn't mean I don't like you. I really like you. I love you. You know? It's just, there's nothing to be frustrated or annoyed about, because at the end of the day, you created how you're feeling. Period. So you have all that power to put it at how you want to feel, who you want to become. It's just knowing that and applying it. You know, these listeners, just every time you're frustrated or you feel annoyed, be grateful that you're alive to feel it, and you'll instantly feel better. Why are you going to let it consume you? What's consuming you? An emotion, a thought. Nothing tangible is consuming you. It's all just what you're perceiving within yourself, so you can control it, so you can direct it, so you can receive more of what you want. It's just that 5-second miracle of self-realization, taking control, taking responsibility, and then empowering yourself and focusing on what you want. It's really, really simple. It's not tough. It takes time. 5 minutes to learn, a lifetime to master. But it all goes back to those 4 steps to process information. Once you really internalize that, you'll be blown away with how many magical things present themselves in your life instantly.
Well, I think what happens, too, is people get discouraged so easily and they get defeated so easily. I mean, I've had people say to me, I don't know how to meditate. I can't keep my mind quiet for more than 5 minutes. All right, we'll start with 5. Don't take it as a... See, they immediately take that and they turn that into a negative. Well, I can't do this for longer than that. Well, maybe that's not how long you're supposed to do it for right now. Try 3 minutes. When you got
aim for a fraction of a second.
Yeah, and keep building on that. And it's unfortunate because we've become this whole instant gratification society where if it doesn't happen yesterday, well then screw it, I don't want to be bothered. And that's really a shame because as it's been said, anything worth having is not going to be easy. You're going to have to put in some work. You don't just stand there and go, okay, I want to be rich and money falls out of the sky. There's got to be some work involved. And nobody wants to put in the work, even if it's the work of just getting out of your own way, like you said, and just letting your intent take you that step of the way. There's so many people shooting themselves in the foot, and to me included, that it's, I do the same. I'm not standing here like I'm not guilty of doing that. I'm guilty of shooting myself in the foot as much as anybody else. And yet when you finally are able to get out of your own way, it's like you said, miracles happen.
Yeah, instantly too. It doesn't take. All right. What is it? There's an expression or knowledge or whatever you want to call it. I'm just trying to recall it. It's 12 seconds of thought on, we'll just say what you want. All right. So if you focus on what you want for 12 seconds, that is equal to over 2,000 hours of you trying to figure out how to attain it. 12 seconds of focusing your thought is equal to 2,000 hours of you trying to figure out how to attain it. That's how much self-control we have. It's not in the activity. The activity is 1/10 of 1%. But like you said, you have to engage in that activity. You have to. That's the balance. But 99.99% of it is your thoughts. And one seed of negative thought creates so much resistance, you're blocking that energy from flowing. When you can reduce and remove and eliminate that resistance, and you let the energy flow through you, you call the shots, baby. It's yours. What you want wants you, and rushing to meet you. And it comes right in. And things come in, they never come in how you think they'll come in, so stop thinking about how they'll come in. Just know that they will come in and focus on that feeling. And if we go into feelings for a second, a lot of people think, Oh, if I had a Rolex, I'd feel better. I'd feel good. If I had that red Porsche, I would feel amazing. Well, why do you want the Porsche? Because I'll feel powerful. The truth is, we have it within ourselves to generate the feeling of that now. We think it's the watch, or we think it's the Porsche, or we think it's the new washer and dryer. Well, we already have it within ourselves to generate that feeling now. So it's not that item. And when you can understand that, all you need is you to feel amazing. Then when you feel amazing, all those little physical things will fly in and be right outside your door. It's a whole, you look forward to waking up in the morning, put it that way.
Well,
you're not falling asleep with confusion or worry or disbelief. You're falling asleep with anticipation, enthusiasm, and knowingness. And when you can do that, when you do that, and when you apply consciously and focus on that, man, your subconscious while you sleep will go to work and it will line up everything you desire right outside your door. And all you got to do is wake up and open it, and you'll be like, wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm going to steal that line from you. What you want wants you. That's excellent. That is
actually, I
excellent.
borrowed that one from Peter Ragnar, who is an amazing friend, an amazing mentor, and an amazing person. So if there's anyone, I would say search on Google or YouTube, Peter Ragnar. The guy is sensational, and that's one of his favorite lines. So I can't take credit for that.
All right. Well, we'll give all credit then to Mr. Ragnar, but I'm going to steal it anyway.
Yes.
Paul, I want to thank you. This has been a great 2 hours. Thank you for staying for the whole thing. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you again for agreeing to come on and spread your positive energy here. I think it's been a fantastic show. As I said, we're very lucky on the guests that we get, and we have yet to be let down. And you've been no exception. You've been a fantastic guest, and it's been a very quick and great 2 hours. And I want to thank you not only for coming by, but if there's anything that I can do for you in the future, or you want to come on again, the door is always open. If you're doing a new video that you want to plug, anything at all, my friend, just feel free to ring me up on Facebook, and we'll get you right in.
Fantastic. I appreciated it myself. See, appreciated it. I can't even talk right. I'm grateful as well. I appreciate it.
No problem. And I'll drop my address to you a little later on, and I'm looking forward to getting that coin.
Okay, will do.
All right. Thank you again, Paul. Thank you for everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Santisi, and I think that I can safely say that is definitely, without a doubt, one of the best interviews we've ever had. That was enlightening, to say the least. And it's really nice to hear somebody who's just so upbeat and so positive and so willing to give of his time, because as I said, there are a lot of people who are not willing to give of their time. They want the world laid at their feet for it. So it's always great, to get somebody like that. And hey, I got somebody from my own stomping grounds, which was even better because he understood me, which is always a big plus. But and we've managed to take the whole show. So a couple of things.